Today, I have a video to show you, and it's going to detail to you what Melissa is all about. Melissa is going to make Gilbert look like a joke. I experienced Gilbert at the time I was at the Jamaica Police Academy. Ronald Reagan was the president then, and Jamaica will receive everything to build back Jamaica after the hurricane. But you know, as usual, you have a set of Jamaican people that it doesn't matter what you do for them. You could raise the dead, let the blind see, and they would always run to the people who they are emotionally attached to. Jamaican people don't normally think when they are voting, and they vote out the best prime minister we had then. Edward Seaga. I'm voting for the man who had destroyed the minds of Jamaican people, Michael Manley. So today I want you to watch this video. This is you're going to see the trajectory of the storm. And people, before I continue, I want all of you from now on, because we are in war against the depraved mind people. When we say depraved mind people, we are talking about people. These people have no interest or love for the truth. They are against the truth. These are people who are evil at best, and we are telling you straight up, they are aligned to the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, and they work at YouTube. They have took down over 10 videos of my from my channel, from the Jamaica Young Police channel. Not videos that violate any of YouTube policies, but because they can. I posted even a video yesterday, and the people at YouTube, they make the video private, so they can, although it's your channel, it's their property, so they can go in and do what they want to do. So the only way that we can beat the machine is to type every time I post a video, please comment. That's right, I am here. I am here every video. That's the only way we can beat them, because they have been sabotaging the channel because of the truth. You know, the wicked don't like the truth, because the truth hurt the guilty. So I want you to watch this video. Remember, please post. I am here every video. Don't forget to post. Comment in the comment section, like, hype up the video, because we have people, wicked people out there, who do not want the best for us as a people. When I say us, I not talk no just black people. I talk black, white, yellow, purple, green, and blue. They want a chaotic society. They want a society where up is down and down is up. And we know that, because we can't think. And they want to tell you that when it's raining, they want to tell you that the sun is shining, and they want obedience from us who are critical thinkers. And we say to them, no, we are not. We are God's children. So you watch, you listen, and you decide. And please watch the video to the end, because that's another hallmark.
Said love Rastafari.
Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. That is a logical conclusion, because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives on this channel. We at this channel aid criminals, their financiers, their supporters, enablers, and the likes with a passion, and we do not want them over here. Yes, let us repeat ourselves. We do not want any criminal supporters over here. Please, we do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you, the criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, and all the likes, to go to prison or madness. Let me repeat myself. We at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we do not want the criminal supporters and their circle over here. We want you to go to prison or madden. Moving on to our video.
Hurricane Melissa will have the potential to be worse than Hurricane Gilbert was for Jamaica back in 1988. What's going on, guys? Certified meteorologist Jonathan Kegas. And for parts of the island, that will likely be true. Melissa is approaching hurricane strength as we move through the 11 o'clock advisory. Post in the comments what your thoughts are on this storm as we move forward. Again, we are thinking about you guys in the islands, especially of Haiti, Jamaica, Cuba, and eventually the Turks and Caicos. As of the 11 o'clock advisory, pressure down to 982 millibars. The hurricane hunters have reported at last check that the eye wall is now closed off. That is a sign that it is continuing to get a little more healthy, unfortunately. You can see there that burst of convection, that deep dark purple and pink color as it slides just to the south and east of Jamaica. Now, latest, the satellite image. Again, that's the infrared. I want to show you the visible satellite imagery because this shows the story here. You can see these kind of hot towers, as we call them, poking through the clouds. We have very intense thunderstorms going along the center of the storm. Latest track on this system. This is still Tropical Storm Melissa. Again, it is expected to become a hurricane later on Saturday. 90-mile-per-hour storm by 8 o'clock in the evening, maybe even earlier than that, likely becoming a hurricane. And then this is where it gets concerning, and I'm not so sure that the messaging from officials in Jamaica, from what I saw last night, is a little concerning. Again, yes, the core is going to stay south of the island initially. This is going to be a slow-moving, long-duration rainfall event, and then eventually wind event for the island of Jamaica. You see it there by Monday morning, maybe as early as Sunday night. Getting to Category 4 strength, potentially Category 5 strength. A Category 5 starts at 157 miles an hour. You see the official forecast is 155 miles an hour south of the island of Jamaica. Some quote-unquote weakening occurs as it approaches the island, expected to make landfall or be close to the island as a Category 4 hurricane. Again, Category 3 Hurricane Gilbert made landfall just south of Kingston, coming in from east to west. This is coming in from south to north, right smack dab in the central part of the island. Again, there is the cone for a reason, for some forecast error. It may try to trend a little bit further to the east, but regardless, rainfall is going to be a significant threat, potentially feet. We'll take a look at that with wind gusts over 100 miles an hour. This is the official forecast from the Hurricane Center, the probabilistic forecast of tropical storm force winds that's greater than 40 miles an hour, sustained. Again, that is sustained winds, not gusts. You see that purple color? That is a pretty much certainty for Jamaica and a very high probability, of course, for the eastern tip of Cuba, the southeastern tip of Cuba, and a pretty high shot for that to happen as well through most of the eastern side of the Turks and Caicos. When it comes to the hurricane force winds, again, this is sustained hurricane force winds, so winds in excess of 75 miles an hour, a greater than 60% shot or 50% shot on the central and eastern part of the island, with the highest probability, of course, for that to happen remaining offshore. Again, I want to stress that that is sustained hurricane force winds. We are likely going to see those gusts well above 100 miles an hour, especially across the southeastern tip of Jamaica over the next couple of days, especially as we get into Sunday night into Monday through Tuesday. Latest computer forecast when it comes to Melissa, you see the grouping there to the eastern side. So there's still some uncertainty as to where the worst of the worst is going to come ashore. It looks like it's still central and eastern Cuba. It's unfortunately looked like that for several days. The GFS continues to want to keep the core offshore. That would be the best case scenario, that purple line. I don't know that that happens, but still the best case scenario for Jamaica is still a terrible scenario for the eastern side of the island in terms of rainfall. Certainly not good for Cuba, certainly not good for Haiti as well, as regardless of where the core goes for Haiti, the heavy rain is just going to work to pound the island over the next couple of days. I want to continue to show you the European ensembles. We've been showing these for the last 10 days, and unfortunately the kind of the mean where most of these lines go continue to paint that picture of Jamaica, eastern Cuba, western Haiti for the worst of the impacts when it comes to Melissa. Again, those tuning in from the United States, we are still looking great. In Florida, big time October cold front comes through for Halloween. That keeps suppressing, and that will suppress the hurricane to the south and east, Contrary to what YouTubers will tell you, this is not coming to Florida. Again, they just want your money. They just want your clicks. The more clicks that come, the higher the ad revenue they get. So it's important to know that and take with those YouTubers telling you that the United States and southeast corner of the U.S. is still in play. I will say there, I want to show you the Northeast. Again, those ensembles continue to back off a little bit. Still going to be watching in the long range for the Canadian Maritimes, Nova Scotia, maybe Newfoundland, but that is only a few outlying ensemble members. But that's why I want to show you those, because it gives, okay, what if the storm is stronger? What if the dip in the jet stream that's sending it east maybe is more negatively tilted and actually helps to guide it back west rather than force it to the east? That's why the ensembles are super helpful in a situation like this. So there we go. Again, back to where I'm most concerned, of course, and where the concern has always been for our friends in Jamaica, Cayman Islands, Cuba, Dominican Republic, and Haiti. These lines represent where the core could go. So that eye wall, where the nastiest winds are going to be, the potentially catastrophic winds, category 4 or stronger. And most of those lines remain over Cuba. There are a few that drift out in between Cuba and Haiti, but it's really looking like in and around. I want to show you the European model for the timeline. So this is going to be later on Saturday. There's the swirl where the center could be. The model predicting that the storm is going to be east loaded. There is some drier air on the western side of the storm that if it wants to undergo that rapid intensification as expected, it's going to have to fend off some of the drier air and still a little bit of wind shear as well. So here we go. This is going to be, as we get into Wednesday, let me back that up a little bit for our friends in Jamaica so we can get the best information for them. It really starts to go downhill. We get some of the tropical storm force winds likely by Sunday. So the title of the thumbnail was Finish Preps. Whatever preparation that you are doing in Jamaica needs to be done very, very quickly for the rest of Saturday. Like by Saturday evening, you should be in your spot that you're going to stay to ride out the storm, because this is, as we move into the day on Sunday, it's going to start to deteriorate a little bit with some banding coming through some of those outer bands. And then this is early in the morning on Monday. So this is 7 o'clock in the morning. You see those arrows going nuts. That's the eye wall, that center portion there. So 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday, we could be looking at Melissa nearing a landfall somewhere on Jamaica, with the worst of this, again, that water being pushed through, storm surge 5, 10, 15 feet potentially as we get into these bays here off the coast of Jamaica. Again, with the worst of the wind happening to the right of the storm, that's the dirty side of the storm in that right front quadrant, as we call it. So that is 7 o'clock on your Monday morning. This continues to work its way across Jamaica. And again, look how slow. We're still talking 1 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, pounded with heavy rain and potentially major hurricane force wind gusts, 115, 120 mile per hour gusts, maybe even higher than that, right along the shoreline. It's still raining 24 hours later. Significant improvements don't happen until maybe Tuesday afternoon. And then we start to focus our attention, of course, on deteriorating conditions for Cuba later Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. That's 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's kind of falling apart as it's feeling that wind shear from the trough that's guiding it away from the southeast U.S. and sending it, unfortunately, to us in the Turks and Caicos. The other thing that's going to continue is the heavy rain across Hispaniola. As Melissa is lifting to the north, it is kind of grabbing that Caribbean moisture and sending it back up the mountainous terrain of Haiti and the southern end of the Dominican Republic. So that is something that we are going to continue to deal with, that flooding rain potential, all the way through the middle part of next week. Here is the forecast rainfall. This is going to be through the duration here. So this is going to be through Friday. And you see what we're talking about, especially on the southern end of Jamaica. 2 feet of rain, that western side of Haiti, 2 feet of rain. And a lot of times these models underplay tropical moisture. So we could be looking in some cases, isolated cases, more than 3 feet of rain, 36 inches of rain, parts of the eastern tip of Cuba, the western side of Haiti, and then maybe isolated amounts of more than 2 feet in the eastern side of Cuba, and then maybe isolated amounts of a foot or more through the Turks and Caicos. So I can't stress enough that this is a life-threatening situation for Jamaica, for Cuba, for Haiti. In terms of Haiti, it's more of the rainfall. Jamaica, it's that kind of threefold threat of storm surge right along the shoreline, the freshwater flooding from the very heavy rain, and then of course the potential Cat 3, Cat 4, maybe even stronger wind gusts that will be especially in the central and eastern part of the island, and then likely Category 2, Category 3 winds in Cuba, and the very heavy rainfall again. It's going to be a fluid situation that continues to unfold through the weekend as we get more data, as we watch the storm continue to form and strengthen its core. We're going to be able to fine-tune where that worst of the worst comes ashore. Just know that that potential is there for really anywhere from Bull Savannah to Kingston to maybe, again, probably wish casting, that the core stays to the east of Jamaica. That is an outlier solution. It's not impossible for that to happen, but I think the most likely scenario is the eastern two-thirds of Jamaica, somewhere along the shoreline there, that we get the landfall. And again, if it comes in as forecast, that will be worse than Gilbert, in Kingston, in Morant Bay, in Bog Walk. I can't stress that enough, that this is a really, really serious situation. You guys know me that have been following for a while. We've had this channel for 2.5 years now. I don't hype things. I hate it. It makes my blood boil because people do get money for clicks. We talked about that. However, I also want to make sure that our friends in the islands are getting the best information possible. That's why we kind of went through it in depth. So that's what I have for you now. I'm watching it closely, of course. If you found this content helpful, if you want to join our weather team, more than 100,000 strong, we'd love to have you guys on board. Please consider hitting that subscribe button.
Yes, before I start today's video, I'm just asking you, members of the Jamaica Young Police channel, to subscribe to this channel. United we win, that divided we lose. Because once we unite as a people, they can't beat us. It doesn't matter who they are. They can't oppress us or brainwash us with their lies to tell us that up is down and down is up. We know that in this world, most people worship money, but we worship God. Because money is only of this world. And people hate you when you speak the truth. So, moving on. Yeah, to the Jamaican people who believe in God, just continue to pray, because with God by your side, don't worry. Wake up, Jamaica. Prepare, pray, protect. So people of Jamaica, today I wish I were bringing a happier message, but right now we face a serious threat and we must act. Hurricane Melissa has rapidly intensified and is bearing down on our island. I am a Jamaican by birth. I am from the belly of the beast. So when I speak of Jamaica, I am speaking of the land of my birth. This is not a storm to be dismissed. Forecasters say Melissa has threatened into a major hurricane and could bring catastrophic winds, storm surge, and torrential rain. Prepare now. Listen to me. History does not forget those who ignore warning signs. Hurricane Gilbert, Ivan, the names were bring back memories. The names we remember taught us lessons we paid for in lives and homes. Property people lose everything during these hurricanes. Forecasters now warn Melissa could be among the strongest to approach Jamaica in living memory. Rainfall totals and surges being discussed can cause catastrophic flooding, landslides, and widespread damage. This is not an exaggeration. Please take it seriously. But this message is more than weather. It's about how we respond as families, as communities, and as a nation. Storms reveal what we value. They expose weak systems, poor planning, and where we have prioritized the wrong things. We must use this moment to show who we are, a people who look after our neighbors, who put children and elders first, who listen to science and obey our official instruction when lives are at stake. So here is what I want every man, woman, and child who hears me to do right now, before it's too late. 1. Take the warnings seriously and follow official guidance. If the National Hurricane Center and our local authorities issue hurricane warnings, advisories, or evacuation notices, do not wait. Shelters have been opened and the emergency plans are in motion. These resources exist for your protection. Move early. If you are in low-lying or flood-prone areas, or if the local officials tell you to evacuate now. We know the dummies, the ones, yeah, you tell them to evacuate them not leave, them rather be dead with them thing. And we know how which kind of people they are. We know these people. So time is not luxury in a storm that intensifying this fast. Secure your home and your family. Bring inside loose objects, boats, outdoor furniture, rubbish bins that can become dangerous projectiles. Board or shutter windows, move valuables and documents to upper floor. Yeah, if you live in an upstairs house, but most Jamaican people don't live in an upstairs house, or rich people really live in an upstairs house. Move valuable and documents to upper floor or sealed containers. Charge your cell phones and radios, gather batteries and battery powered light source. Fill containers with water for drinking and sanitation. Tap services may be interrupted. Have a simple go bag ready, IDs, medication, cash, important documents, chargers, a change of clothes and basic first aid supplies. If you live in a flood-prone hillside community, be mindful of landslide risk. Follow official advice about shelter locations and routes. Help your neighbor. If your neighbor live good, help them. Some neighbor them just live bad. Some neighbor real carousing and dirty bungle and carousing. Thief, bad mind, licky, beggy, wanga got. So you can't live good with them kind of people there. Them they are not your neighbor, them they are your enemy. So you understand? Sometimes your neighbor is your enemy, and that is just true. This is not the time for pride or for waiting for someone else to act. Knock on the door of the elderly, neighbors, and single parent households. Ask if they need help securing windows, moving supplies to safety, or right to a shelter. I remember like Gilbert, yes. I was a police officer at the Jamaica Police Academy. Recruits, senior man at the time, because the batch that graduated before me they graduated like not even a week before Gilbert, and so we had to go to Portmore to help the people them to evacuate them and bring them to the Jamaica Police Academy, right where the admin block, and we went in a Sun Enterprise bus. That old kind of JOS bus, and I can tell you, I was in the bus, and I am telling you, this is from memory, I mean, I tell you, say, God is good, and I am telling you, we're en route to Portmore, and when the bus passed White Mall, I don't know if anyone who were on the bus remember. I can tell you that the wind lifted the bus. We drive on the left side of the road in Jamaica. Lift the bus. The right side of the bus. That's how the driver. And the bus were driving, and two on just the left wheels the right wheels were in the air along with the driver and the passenger. And I'm telling you, that was something. And I can tell you, it's like God himself just put down back the bus. And that's why I am still here. That was an experience. I'll never forget that. Hurricane Gilbert. The power of Mother Nature. That's the power of God. So when a guy, a big belly guy from England, who I tell black people, say, open up your battery hole and take it like a girl, and he say, him a God. And then you have 403 black people vote for him, 403,000 black people vote for him. Yeah, man, that I tell God, say, white man a God. It's born to pay. And this is a payment where Jamaica get for vote for this man. A man who is not Jamaican, a man who is white, immoral, indecent, dishonest, wicked, and I can go on and on. And this is a payment where we get because of what 403,000 of you have done. We survived the storm. We survived the storm together, not alone. That's why we're surviving at Gilbert. So if you have a vehicle and a safe place to stay, offer to take someone who cannot transport themselves. As I said before and I say again, sometimes your neighbor are your enemy. Me I tell you that. Whether or not you want to believe it. Some neighbor are your enemy. So you understand what I'm saying? Protect our children and elders first. Make a plan for where the family will sleep and how you will stay in touch if self-services go down. Pack medicine and comfort items for children and seniors. If you run a small business, move critical records and cash to higher ground, but don't risk lives for property. Keep calm. Share accurate information. In these hours, rumors spread fast. Share official bulletins and verify sources. The National Hurricane Center, Jamaica Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, and established news outlets, not here says, when you share verify info, you save time and lives. So this is a call for accountability in words, not hatred. Many of us are angry at leaders and institutions that have failed us in the past. Use this moment to demand accountability and ask why infrastructure was not strengthened, why drainage projects stalled, why at-risk community remain exposed. But do it with a purpose. Organize petitions, contact your representatives, demand actions after the storm. Violence, hateful words or blaming the whole group will not fix broken culvert or a failed early warning system. Constructive pressure, organized, persistent, lawful, will. So we know that the people them who really at risk are the people them, are the low IQ people them are back to Riverton. Trust me, you're going to see where the crimes committed, where the parasites, that's come out like, the parasites them come out of the out of them hole, and we know where them come from. These are the people who are in lurks, dark, I wait for the hurricane come, and I pray to God that most of them end up in a departure lounge. And these are people, they are destructive by nature. And these are not people they have no decency, ethics, morality, or truthfulness or honesty in them. They are licky, beggy, wanga god people. You don't want nothing. You don't want anything to do with them. Remember, faith and community, and act on both. Many Jamaicans find strength in faith. That's used to be, people have no trust in their church anymore because you have criminals who are pastor. You have people who are narcissistic and notorious liars who claim to them around church. Especially the people who are affiliated with the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Growing up in a Jamaica church wasn't a place of politics. It was a place of God. And these same people who claim that they are spiritual, they are not. They are devils. Because if you are in the church and you support the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, that means you are against God. Because the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, Their mantra on everything is against God, decency, honesty, truthfulness, and I can go on and on. So I would say many Jamaicans find strength in prayer. Prayer. But prayer without action is incomplete. If you pray, then also prepare. If you fast, use the time to check on neighbors, to volunteer at shelters, to donate clean water or blankets. Let our faith move us to care for one another. After the storm, rebuild with vision. When Melissa passes, there will be damage to homes, roads, to livelihoods, and we pray that, to the depraved mind people them, even for them, because we don't want the people, we just pray to God that the people who are destructive to Jamaica, that God remove them from us, because we want a better Jamaica. And when God and God wrath hit them, nobody can ball say extrajudicial killing, because this is God's wrath. I will say that without any apology. When that time comes, instead, that rebuilding is smart and fair. Rebuild drainage, enforce building codes, relocate where risks are highest, support small businesses to reopen, protect the most vulnerable. This is the long game. Our island must come back stronger and more resilient. And we just hope a section of the population, the depraved mind people, them, God take care of them for us. Because we can't have these people. Jamaica cannot grow with people who are held on destruction and destroying our country. What you can do right now, identify the nearest shelter and the safest route to get there. Put valuables and documents in a plastic bag in an elevated place. Prepare at least 3 days of food and water per person. Fill your car, gas tank, if you have one. Save local emergency numbers and sites of official advisories. Jamaica, we are a resilient people, built from hardship and hope. Some lost them way, 403,000 of them have lost their way. They align themselves with Satan himself, and them say no God no death. And they had 413,000 voted for the best. They wanted a country to grow. So we pray to God that God protect these people. The others, we pray that God take care of them. Because if you are for the destruction of this country, God will take care of them. So this time is a test of that resilience. It calls for courage, not complacency. Discipline, not panic. Compassion. We can survive this if we act together. Let us be known for how we prepare, how we protect the weakest amongst us, and how we rebuild with wisdom after the wind subsided. Please take the warning seriously. Gather your family. Help your neighbors. And when the skies clear, turn your energy toward accountability and rebuilding. So the next storm find us better prepared. May God watch over every family that's for the betterment of Jamaica. The ones who are the destructive force, we pray that God take care of them. In Jamaica in these dangerous hours, may our actions match our prayers. Stay safe, stay together. I will say, choose Jamaica, one Jamaica. I will say to the terrorists them, may God take care of you and get rid of you people out of our lives permanently. I will say that without any apologies. We have no love for the wicked. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel. Out.